Howdy folks, welcome to another episode of the Riflechair channel. Today we're here with Blowback, right there. And he's got a real special gem that we're going to share with you guys today. It's called, what's the name of the rifle again?
It's the Winchester Model 71.
The Winchester Model 71. That'll mean something to a whole bunch of you out there. It's a pretty cool rifle. Let's have a closer look. So Blowback, tell us a little bit of what it is you got here.
This being an impromptu video, I hadn't thought about all the monologue for this. What I'll say is I've got my 1948 built Winchester Model 71.
1948.
Well known, the only manufacturer to ever build a rifle on that cartridge, the 348. One of a kind. No one else chambered it. But Winchester, I believe in the early to mid 30s, 1933, 1935, Winchester wanted to update and replace its Model 1886 and update their cartridge line. They eliminated a number of chamberings then and brought out the 348 Winchester. We've got a large diameter, I think one of the largest diameter rim cartridges ever manufactured. And got that short fat body and chambered in, it's not a 35 cal, it's 348, so it's somewhat of an oddball.
What's the bullet diameter on those?
It would be 348.
Oh, it's a true 348, okay.
So you can research this further. My recollection is Winchester wanted to replace their 33 Winchester, their 35, and come up with this dual cartridge, the 348. Original chamberings and ammunition was manufactured in 250 grain and 200 grain bullets. Eventually the 250 grain was dropped, and I think the common manufactured ammunition was largely produced in 200 grain ammunition. So we're talking through the mid 30s, into the 40s, of course, World War II production, and largely the 348 wasn't a huge seller. It was, I think, a relatively expensive rifle, and a lot of the trend was heading towards more to bolt action repeaters, and Winchester stuck to their roots with a big frame lever gun, and the 348 never was a stellar seller.
What would what was it that would make, for example, if what kind of clientele was Winchester trying to access? I mean, if you're not going to be running it, why would you run a 348 rather than say a 4570?
I believe the higher velocity for sure, and more of a universal round with some more range. Potentially less recoil, but they again were trying to come out with kind of a mid-bore dual cartridge, and when again the trends were heading towards bolt action rifle platforms, and Winchester went with a lever gun. Glad they did. It's become a classic and primarily made its name, in the woods of northern Canada and Alaska. It's a big game hunting rifle, so it has great capabilities. Its performance has never been questioned. Great portability, great functionality, robust, and well known for taking big game animals. It's your moose, bear, elk rifle, and that's what it does. I know there was lots of offshoot Wildcat cartridges built off of this, and the 348 and the 71 was also very well known for the rechamberings and rebarreling that was done. Primarily, I think it started in Alaska, a place called Johnson Crossing. The fellow's name may have been Johnson, and he was known to take 348 or Model 71s and had surplus 50 caliber machine gun barrels that he machined and created a cartridge, the 50 Alaskan. And this action was strong enough to handle that, and this was modified, rebarreled, and run in the 50 Alaskan. And there's also, I believe, a 45 caliber chambering designation as well. So imagine this now in a 50 cal.
No, thank you.
Right?
It scares me thinking about it.
So those, again, highly sought after, and it just speaks also to the, the strength of the action, and it was capable of firing a 50 cal cartridge, a higher intensity 50 cal cartridge.
Wow.
So the 348, it is your big game platform, big game rifle, never intended to be scoped. You'll see some rifles that have had the receivers drilled and tapped on the side for some kind of a side mount, and I would see very little function in that. This one's equipped with a Redfield peep sight, period correct, and it's all you really need or all I'd ever want on this rifle. So easy to pack, relatively lightweight, great balance points, and it's a hard hitter, and you want this on your shoulder in the woods, and it's point and shoot. So
were there any different shall we say models of the Model 71 so far as like a fancy grade or anything?
And there was a deluxe that came with checkering on the forend and on the wrist, and they were equipped with sling swivels. This one's has been modified, and sling swivels have been added to it. It's my understanding, but they were available with what looked like a Winchester super grade style sling swivel in the deluxe model. This one's a standard model.
That's a beautiful rifle. Do you want to shoot it?
We do so. We do so.
All right, let's get set up. So, where is this rifle sighted in at?
I've got it 0 to 200. It shoots a few inches high at 100. We're shooting at a shorter range here now, about 40 yards with our steel gong. So the point aim will be a little bit low on that, and we'll see if we can ring some steel and how consistently we can do that.
All right, let's watch you load it here. How difficult is that to do with gloved hands? Does it pinch your thumb or?
No. It's quite easy.
Okay. Wow, look at that. That delivered enough power to flip it over on the ramp there and let it sit. We'll have to go fix that. That's a lot of power. Say again?
I started out holding the peep sight at the bottom of the target. I know I was shooting just under it, and I just raised the peep to the center of it.
Oh, you were shooting at the 6 o'clock position?
Yeah. And then I held on center, and then away we went.
Yeah, it's always a little bit tricky at close range to find out where your point of aim should be if you're 0 to 200. So that's it right there. It's interesting because it's a hollow point. You could actually see that. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but the center doesn't seem to be hit quite as hard. Yeah, that's. I did that exact same thing with the jungle carbine. Flipped it all the way around. All right, I'm going to try shooting it now, eh?
All right.
All right.
Let's do that. Riflechair is on.
So with this rifle, what I would do was you know, if you got a bear coming at you, you just kind of throw it in the chamber and you're good to go, right?
Exactly.
All right. And these are what bullet is this again?
This is the Barnes 220 grain. I think it has an XCP designation. It's not manufactured anymore. If anyone knows where there's any supply of them, do get in contact with Riflechair. I am searching out more of those Barnes 220 grain hollow point bullets.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me shoot this, by the way, Blowback. By the way, if anybody feels like Blowback here is familiar, it's because he's been a religious participant in the Cabin Fever Challenge, and he's a Model 70 fan. You should check out that video of him shooting that course of fire. All right, let's do this. Hang on.
What can you say?
That's annoying.
Riflechair. All right, round number 2.
All right. I will say is that that was a lot less recoil than I was expecting. Like I shoot the Marlin 1895 with a 4570 with a 400 grain hard cast bullet, and it is punishing to shoot that. That was relatively tame in comparison to the 4570. Okay, well, we'll call it 2 shots. We'll just call that good enough. And all day with this. This is fairly lightweight, relatively low recoiling, but a hard-hitting round that is spitting that AR-15 steel, you know, 180 degrees and flipping it on its back on the mount. And this is hard hitting, a 200 grain bullet. Any idea how fast this is going?
220 grain.
It's a 220 grain? How fast is it going?
I would have to check my notes. I'm just going to say off the top of my head about 2,300 feet per second.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Yeah. Wow, what a great rifle. And it's smooth. I mean, that is like super smooth. That's way smoother than my Marlin.
Well, it's a Winchester Riflechair.
Ah, okay, all right. All right, well, thank you very much, Blowback, for sharing this rifle with us. And I'd like to say thank you very much to all the viewers out there that are into these rifles like we are. And I hope you all have a great one, and Maple Leaf up.